News 26th March to 1st April 2017 by Deepak, Miglani. Government nod to hike in salaries of Supreme Court, High Court judges. An expert committee of senior doctors appointed to find out streams in medical courses in which blind students could be allowed. Supreme Court. New regulators for homeopathy, Ayurveda soon. Tax authorities can waive TDS related penal interest in some cases. Cannot force government to retain Hall of Nations. Delhi High Court. Delhi High Court designated Kapil Sibbal's son, 11 others senior lawyers. Who are the minorities in Jammu and Kashmir? Supreme Court asked Centre and State. Supreme Court sought report from Centre on alternatives to pellet guns in Jammu and Kashmir. Uttarakhand High Court ordered complete mining ban for 4 months in Uttarakhand. Cannot appoint Lokpal till law is amended, centre government told Supreme Court. Cancel YSR Congress Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy bail, CBI to trial court. Supreme Court took first step towards video recording court trials. Supreme Court banned sale registration of BS third vehicles from April 1st, 2017. Delhi High Court may order reopening of 5 anti-Sikh riot cases. Cleared by Supreme Court in terror case, man sought rupees 5 crore in damages. Mining scam. Supreme Court asked SIT to probe 2 Karnataka ex-CMs. Frame new media policy in 6 weeks, Supreme Court directed centre government. Bombay High Court voiced its displeasure over journalist covering court proceeding attired in jeans and t-shirts. Supreme Court set 11-19 May 2017 to finish hearings on triple talaq. Delhi High Court says goodbye to 2 judges. NGT notice on D&D waste burning. Anti-Romeo squads get Allahabad High Court's approval. Highway liquor vents, bars must close from April 1st, 2017. Supreme Court. Karnan appeared before Supreme Court, refused to apologize. CNG delay. NGT may restrict UP, Haryana vehicles. Age no bar to become a doctor. Supreme Court. Hartal can never be unconstitutional. Supreme Court. Now news in detail. Government nod to hike in salaries of Supreme Court, High Court judges. The government has accepted the Supreme Court proposal for raising emoluments given to judges of the Apex Court and High Courts commensurate with the recent hike in pay for central government staff. The Chief Justice of India is the highest paid functionary in the judiciary with his current monthly emoluments at Rs 1 lakh excluding dearness and other allowances. This is likely to be raised to Rs 2.8 lakh in addition to perks such as official residence, cars, staff and allowances as applicable. The government has pegged the salaries of the Chief Justices of High Courts and Supreme Court judges at rupees 2.5 lakh per month in addition to allowances. An expert committee of senior doctors appointed to find out streams in medical courses in which blind students could be allowed. Supreme Court. Can a student suffering from color blindness be allowed to pursue medical courses? The Supreme Court has agreed to consider a plea of two students to open the door of medical colleges for them, saying the present practice of Medical Council of India not permitting color blind students to take admission in MBBS courses is regressive and should be done away with. A bench of Justice Deepak Mishra and Justice A.M. Khanwilkar appointed an expert committee of senior doctors to find out streams in which such students could be allowed. It said students with color blindness were allowed to study medical courses in many countries, and the rules or guidelines followed in the country needed to be revived to allow such students to pursue courses where color blindness might not be a handicap. The court passed the order on a plea of two medical students who were denied admission in college after clearing the entrance examination in 2015, as they were suffering from partial color blindness. They had first approached Tripura High Court, which had turned down their plea, compelling them to approach the apex court. New regulators for homeopathy, Ayurveda soon. After suggesting scrapping of Medical Council of India, the regulator for modern medicine, and replacing it with National Medical Commission, the government is planning to revamp the regulators for Indian system of medicine and homeopathy to ensure better quality of doctors. After much brainstorming, a high-level panel headed by Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Arvind Panagriya has finalized two draft bills which purpose to replace the two regulators governing education in Indian systems of medicine, including Ayurveda and homeopathy, and other reform measures such as national entrance and exit test to ensure quality of doctors and expand the reach of these streams. Tax authorities can waive TDS related penal interest in some cases. The Central Board of Direct Taxes, in its circular issued on March 24, 2017, has empowered tax authorities to reduce or waive penal interest for non-deduction of tax at source in certain circumstances, including owing to retrospective amendment in law. Interest can also be reduced or waived where tax could not be deducted as the books of a taxpayer were seized in a search operation. CBDT's circular will also apply where tax was not deducted or deducted at a lower rate on payments made to non-residents, and the matter was settled under the mutual agreement procedure between the authorities of two countries under the relevant tax treaty. To avail of this benefit, the taxpayer would be required to pay the principal tax sum demanded or make arrangements to pay the same. However, restrictive conditions in this order are unlikely to benefit taxpayers in indirect transfer cases, says experts. Cannot force government to retain Hall of Nations, Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court said that If the central government does not want to retain the Hall of Nations at Prakti Maidan, how can it be forced to do so? The High Court refused to pass any interim orders saying demolition of the building. The court's observation came during the brief hearing of the plea by the architect and one by the Indian National Trust for Art and Cultural Heritage, which has sought protection of 62 buildings including Hall of Nations in the national capital. Delhi High Court designated Kapil Sibal's son, 11 others, senior lawyers. The Delhi High Court designated 12 lawyers as senior advocates less than a week after the Supreme Court referred to a larger bench a plea to examine the controversial system, often accused of being opaque and flawed. Former Additional Solicitor General Indira Jaising and National Lawyers Campaign for Judicial Transparency, an NGO, have challenged the current process in apex court and sought a procedure that is fair, transparent, and inclusive. Who are the minorities in Jammu and Kashmir? Supreme Court asked Centre and State. The Centre and the Jammu and Kashmir government agreed before the Supreme Court to sit together and resolve the prickly issue of identifying minorities in the only Muslim majority state in India. A PIL filed by Ankur Sharma had alleged that Jammu and Kashmir government had been doling out hundreds of crores of rupees meant for minority communities in the state to Muslims who formed the majority in the state. The PIL had alleged that state had not yet identified the minority communities. Supreme Court sought report from Centre on alternatives to pellet guns in Jammu and Kashmir. The Supreme Court sought a report from the Centre on the effectiveness of alternatives to pellet guns like laser dazzlers and spraying fall smelling water in quelling violent protest in the Kashmir Valley. Uttarakhand High Court ordered complete mining ban for 4 months in Uttarakhand, ordering a complete ban on all mining activities in the state for 4 months while hearing a PIL on illegal mining in Bageshwar district. The Uttarakhand High Court directed the state government to constitute a high-powered committee to look into various aspects of mining activities and find out whether mining activity should be permitted in the state at all. The panel will also prepare a 50-year blueprint taking into consideration environment limits vis-a-vis mining operations. Cannot appoint Lokpal bill till law is amended, central government told Supreme Court. 5 years after the Anna Hazare-led anti-corruption agitation, the Lokpal is likely to be further delayed by at least another 4 months, with the centre telling the Supreme Court that the proposed watchdog cannot be appointed until Parliament amends the existing law to address certain lacuna. Cancel YSR Congress Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy bail, CBI to trial court. The CBI has asked the Principal Special Judge for CBI cases in Hyderabad to cancel the bail granted 3 years ago to YSSR Congress Chief Jagan Mohan Reddy in a disproportionate asset against the politician. The CBI is investigating the case against Jagan Mohan. Supreme Court took first step towards video recording court in trials. In an unprecedented step, the Supreme Court directed high courts to install CCTV cameras inside courtrooms in 2 districts of every state and union territory within 3 months to record case proceedings. The report of such experiment be submitted within 1 month of such installation by Registrar Generals of the respective High Courts to the Secretary General of the Supreme Court, who may have it tabulated and place it before us, ordered a bench of Justice A.K. Goyal and U.U. Lalit. However, the Supreme Court barred access of video footage to lawyers, litigants, and general public through the RTI. Supreme Court banned sale, registration of BS third vehicles from April 1st, 2017. Drawing a strong line on environmental issues, the Supreme Court banned the sale and registration of Bharat Stage 3rd BS 3rd vehicles from 1st April 2017 when BS 4 emission norms will come into force across the country, saying that health of citizens is more important than commercial interest. Delhi High Court may order reopening of 5 anti-Sikh riot cases. The Delhi High Court indicated it wants to reopen trial in 5 anti-Sikh riot cases that resulted in acquittals in 1986. A bench of Justices Geeta Mittal and Anu Malhotra took suo motu cognizance and issued show cause notices to all the accused, asking why the case against them should not be retried or probed again, given the glaring errors made by the investigating agency. Interestingly, High Court came across these cases when they were cited by Congress leader Sajjan Kumar and other accused defending their acquittal by the trial court in 2013. Cleared by Supreme Court in terror case, man sought rupees 5 crore in damages. Mufti Abdul Qayyum Mansoori, who was acquitted by the Supreme Court in 2002 Akshardham Temple terrorist attack case along with 5 others, has approached the City Civil Court seeking compensation of more than rupees 5 crore from the Gujarat government and 4 police officers, including retired DIG DG Vanjara. In his civil suit filed earlier this month, Mansoori sought compensation from IPS officer G.L. Singhal, retired DSP V.D. Vanar, and Police Inspector R.I. Patel, apart from Vanjara, and the government for falsely implicating him in the terrorism case. Mining scam. Supreme Court asked SIT to probe 2 Karnataka ex-CMs. The Supreme Court asked the Karnataka police to conduct probe against the state's 2 former Chief Minister N. Dharam Singh and H.D. Kumaraswamy for their alleged involvement in permitting illegal mining of iron ore in Bellary district. Frame new media policy in 6 weeks. Supreme Court directed central government. The Supreme Court directed the central government to frame a fresh media briefing policy for probing agencies to guard against prejudicing an accused and violating the rights of a complainant or victim in criminal cases. After a detailed presentation by amicus curiae Gopal Shankar Narayan, a bench of Chief Justice J.S. Kehar and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud and Sanjay Kishan Kaul said the media briefing policy for central investigating agencies were framed in 2010. Bombay High Court voiced its displeasure over journalist covering court proceedings attired in jeans and t-shirts. The Bombay High Court voiced its displeasure over journalists covering court proceedings attired in jeans and t-shirts, asking if it was Bombay culture. The observation was made by Chief Justice Manjula Chellur and Justice G. S. Kulkarni when they were hearing a petition challenging doctors' protest. Supreme Court set 11 to 19 May 2017 to finish hearings on triple talaq. The Supreme Court has set 11 May to 19 May as the timeline to conclude hearings on the legality of triple talaq, signaling its resolve to shortly decide an issue with potentially severe socio-political implications. The court said it would hold daily sittings from May 11 to May 19 to decide pleas by Muslim women to declare the practice of oral talaq illegal. Delhi High Court says goodbye to two judges. In a rare moment in the history of Delhi High Court, two of its senior-most judges bid farewell within 24 hours on Wednesday and Thursday. Justice B.D. Ahmed and Pradeep Nandrajog will now head Jammu and Kashmir and Rajasthan High Courts, respectively. NGT notice on D&D waste burning. NGT issued notice to the government of Delhi and Uttar Pradesh on a plea alleging indiscriminate burning of municipal solid waste in Delhi and National Capital Region despite a ban being in force. A bench headed by NGT chairperson Justice Swatantra Kumar sought a response from the government's Delhi Pollution Control Committee, UP Pollution Control Board on the issue. What is this going on? Issued notice to government of NCT Delhi, UP and Delhi Pollution Control Committee and UP Pollution Control Board. The order came after Advocate Salik Shafiq mentioned the matter before the Green Panel and said that huge stretch of dry grass was put on fire along the Delhi-Noida direct flyway on 26 March 2017. Anti-Romeo squads get Allahabad High Court's approval. A Lucknow bench of the Allahabad High Court gave its nod to the constitution of anti-Romeo squads by the UP police to check harassment of women in Uttar Pradesh. Declining to interfere with the state's action, the High Court said, "We are unable to gather any lawful or otherwise constitutional defect in the attempt made by the state government and its authorities in proceeding to form the squads for the purpose of such policing." Highway liquor vents, bars must close from April 1st, 2017, Supreme Court. The Supreme Court refused to revisit its order banning liquor vents within 500 meters of national and state highways from April 1st, 2017 and ruled that this would also bar hotels and restaurants on highways from serving liquor to guests. Justice C.S. Karnan appeared before Supreme Court, refused to apologize. Justice C.S. Karnan finally appeared before the Supreme Court in contempt proceedings for leveling corruption charges against 20 apex court and high court judges. CNG delay. NGT may restrict UP Haryana vehicles. The National Green Tribunal came down heavily on Haryana and Uttar Pradesh governments for the delay in introduction of CNG as the main fuel for vehicles and threatened to ban their transportation in NCR. A bench headed by NGT chairperson Justice Swatantra Kumar directed the senior-most official from Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board to be present before it on April 20th, 2017, the next date of hearing. Age no bar to become a doctor. Supreme Court. All aspiring medical students can now appear for NEET this year, irrespective of age, as the Supreme Court removed the age cap of 25 years fixed by CBSE for taking the entrance examination for MBBS courses. A bench of Justices Deepak Mishra and A.M. Khanwilkar said the decision taken by the CBSE to fix upper age limit on the administrative instruction of Medical Council of India seemed wrong, and students should not be barred from appearing in the entrance examination. The court directed CBSE to open a window till April 5th, 2017 for those above 25 years to apply for the National Eligibility Entrance Test, which is scheduled for May 7, 2017. The last date for filling up forms was March 1st, 2017. Hartal can never be unconstitutional. Supreme Court. The Supreme Court refused to entertain a PIL that alleged that political organizations were resorting to hartals to hoodwink repeated judicial pronouncements banning strike and bandh calls, which paralyzed normal life. A bench of Chief Justice J.S. Kehar and Justice D.Y. Chandrachud said hartals can never be unconstitutional. Right to protest is a valuable constitutional right. How can we say hartals are unconstitutional? Having failed to convince the bench to entertain the PIL, the petitioner decided to withdraw the plea. Thank you.